So my name is Jojo. My pronouns are she, her. I live in the city of Bell Gardens here on unceded Tonga territory, and I'm part of the North Sela membership. So I first got involved with the East Yard as a youth member through Youth in Action at Bell Gardens High School. I heard there was free pizza at a meeting, and the rest is history. I started kind of coming to more membership meetings and kind of stayed involved throughout my younger years up until today. I decided to participate in the Marina Pando Research Collaborative mostly because it seemed like a safe space to learn, not only about elements of research. I know at the time I was going to the university, but I was not receiving the support I needed, or I feel like in these conversations of research, this was all very intimidating and new. And I think the Marina Pando Social Justice Research Collaborative really provided support and guidance. And not only that, but also the emphasis of like creating questions with regarding problems that we see in our communities, but then also working toward finding solutions to address those problems. Iris is an amazing person that I decided to partner with in a research project. We kind of had similar interest, and so we decided to kind of look into this issue around our urban runoff, particularly in the lower LA River. And so that's the project that we focused on. So some of the research that Iris and I conducted was around urban runoff, right? Industrial and other potential sources of runoff that would go into the LA River or into local water systems. And so we looked at sites immediately along the lower LA River, particularly in industrial areas like Vernon or our nearby communities like Bell, Cudahy, Bell Gardens. And we also sampled topsoil along the LA River to test for toxic metals, and did other forms of analysis around basically the observations that we make around signs, right? What are some of the signs of runoff that we see in our community, but also in our water systems? When we presented our findings to community members, it was very encouraging to see that there was interest in what we were sharing, right? What we were finding, which we were finding certain degrees of, high levels of heavy metals in the topsoil, but also, sharing each other's narratives and like experiences and seeing some of these things that we were talking about. And so that was generally the impression that we got when we were presenting our information. But also being able to use this information to inform, the water board, right? I think we presented this information to the water board, which also was pretty impactful in order to inform some of that policy taking place. Yeah, I think the research collaborative, it helped give me some confidence in utilizing some of the tools that, we already have. But also in a way that isn't so centered on like that concept of research that's like academia version of research, but more community centered, right? Which I think it definitely gave me, more confidence, but also it reinforced the fact that like there's that ability in our communities to find answers and pose the questions, right? And not have someone necessarily do that for us. And so I think that was a very, very powerful growing moment. So I think some of this research helped us to look at it more closely in terms of like the water issues that we see in our communities. Also leading to more questions, right? Like what do the water systems look like here? Where do we get our water from? What exactly is in our water, right? And what does access to water look like in different neighboring communities, right? This year, we were able to form a water committee at East Yard where we have members from all over the region participate. And I'm really excited to participate also in those committee meetings where we kind of unpack these questions and we learn more about where we get our water from, right? Which is a big question in itself, but also how we can be better stewards for the water. and also realizing things like, a lot of the water we get here is stolen from indigenous lands. And so these are some of like the things we learn in the water committee, right? But also, continue these conversations so that we're able to work collectively, right? To find solutions, right? We may not have all the answers, but I think these spaces are powerful in itself, in learning, right, and getting capacity around these things. So yeah, I think it's important to invest in these kinds of programs to support local youth, right? In not only helping them, right, and supporting them in crafting these questions and finding answers around issues that they see in their communities, but also providing them with resources, right, like being able to give them stipends and any other support that they may need to be in the program, right? So I think there's a lot of value in investing in youth and investing in community-based research.